Listen, I will block somebody quick. Have you noticed how it seems to be this air online of entitlement where people think that they can just go on an app and just say whatever comes to mind? I understand that we have free speech in some areas of the world, but it doesn't mean that you can just come on someone's post and be judgmental. And I think it's also interesting as well how people will be all up in your Instagram stories or looking at your posts, and they don't even engage with you based upon a question that you asked or based upon a thought that you want to share contributing to that conversation. They rather poke at something like your face or something that you're wearing and things like that rather than getting the message. And I think it's interesting too when people are off on what they're even saying. They're not even accurate in what they're saying. So they literally just came on your post to waste time. I love blocking those types of people. I enjoy it. It's fun for me. And so if you've ever felt like it's wrong to block someone, don't think that way at all. And I'm actually going to go into some reasons why it may cause you to want to block someone. So the first reason is making people feel stupid. It takes a lot of energy to record and put yourself out there, whether you are recording a video or you are writing your thoughts down and posting them, or you're trying to choose a photo and post it. Just now, within the span of probably a half hour of filming this video, I've had to start over and over and over again. And not to mention having to edit, having to write descriptions and things like that so you can hook your audience in. And someone comes on your post and says something judgmental, or they try to help out and educate, and they're actually embarrassing you. Like, there is a fine line between trying to help someone and just embarrassing them. Like, it's just not the place. Even if you know more than that person that's posting, encourage them. It takes a lot to put posts out, and it takes a lot definitely to show up online in front of a lot of people. So if you ever feel like someone is making you feel stupid, you can delete the comment that they made, or you can just block them. So, depending on how I feel that day, I will more than likely block that person, because I'm a very busy woman and I just don't have time to engage with people that seem like they're argue prone, or they just are very like negative. I don't want that in my space at all. So some people that know me know that I'm a very bubbly person, and I love to be as happy as I can. So I don't want anything to threaten that. The next reason is asking for money in the DMs. So I want to say, like, if you're very close friends with someone and you're reaching out to them for financial help, that's different than you friending someone and then asking for money. Like, I think that that is a red flag, especially when the person doesn't know you, you don't know the person. So I just think that that's a cause to want to block someone, because that makes you feel uncomfortable and unsafe as well. It can. And so you have every right to block that person. No explanation needed. Like, why are you asking for money? And also, you have to be careful too, because there are scams. There are scammers online that can try to look like someone that you may know and act as them, right? Especially in this day and age with AI and all that advanced technology, you don't know who is sending out a real message or if that person is who they say they are. So that is a good enough reason to block someone as well. That's just something to really be careful of, is people going into the DMs and sending links and saying, oh, you can pay right here. Be very careful of that. And if you have the person's personal number, reach out to them, I would say, and just ask them, is this you? If you happen to be friends with that person. But if you're not friends with that person, you can try to point them in other directions. Like, there are organizations that probably give money, or just the different resources out there. So if you can find resources like that, that is more beneficial. The third one is pretty popular. It's intense arguments or having a falling out with someone. So these can get messy, but pretty much if you have this big, humongous argument with someone and things are said that can't be taken back and the feelings are just crazy, that might be a reason to block that person. Now, it's not to say that you won't unblock them later, depending on what your relationship is, but maybe things are just really out of whack right now and you don't want to see them online. You don't want to see what they're posting because that is bringing up flare ups of old previous things that have just occurred. So that's typical, sometimes for people to block each other if they just need a break from each other. They don't want to see each other. This kind of may happen with failed relationships, romantic ones, or even with friendships as well. And so that's pretty much in a nutshell why someone may block that person. Or it could just mean that someone may not feel comfortable knowing that someone has access to their content. It may not be that they have something to hide, but they just don't like that feeling of being watched by that person, knowing that that person can look at their content and not engage, right? Because there are different ways where you can kind of look at previews of stories and kind of see what someone has posted without actually tapping on the stories. There are ways to look at the feed. If the person's feed is public, then they can look on it without liking, without commenting, letting you know that they're there. So that might be a reason that you might want to block someone, just because they make you feel unsafe. So I think the central theme here is anyone that makes you feel uncomfortable online, you don't have to put up with them, right? You don't have to work with them in a small group. You don't have to go to school with them. You don't have to go, constantly be around this person, depending on where you are. Now, if you work with these people, if you go to the same places like church and stores, and things like that, then that's going to be kind of hard to get away from them. But for the most part, when we are online, there are people that are following us that we don't know. So if any of those people make you feel uncomfortable, it's very easy to just block them and be done with it. The next one is if someone is spamming you with their products. So if someone is just sending you links and links to your DMs or in the comment section, or they're posting their services in your comment section, they don't know you from Adam, and they're just putting things like, oh, I provide these services, or you'll want to check me out here, and they put their handle there. That is also a way to make someone feel uncomfortable and disrespected, because why not just promote on your own channel or on your own page, Instagram page? So that's a little slimy. So again, you can delete those comments, or you can just block or block the person as well. Another one may be they're always in your stories, but they don't treat you with kindness. So if you have had interactions with this person before, it kind of goes back to the judgmental thing, and they make fun of you, or they make you feel stupid, or they just talk down to you, but then they're always looking at your content. We all know that we can see who is in our Instagram stories. If they do tap on that, or if this is Facebook stories, TikTok has stories now as well. And so if someone's always looking at your stuff, but they don't have nice words to say to you, you can block them. It is absolutely okay for your happiness to block people that are mean-spirited, that are just discouraging, and they don't help your growth. And this is just one of the ways that you can make your experience on social media amazing. And that way, when you open it, it's not such a huge waste of time and waste of energy, because you took the time to curate your feed, who you're following. Are those people that you're following inspiring to you? Are the people that are following you, are they encouraging? You're not going to know if all of your followers are encouraging, but just the ones that mainly interact with you, it should be a pleasurable experience. And if it's not, it's your prerogative. If you want to talk to them and say, hey, when you sent this made me uncomfortable. Or if you don't have time, then block them, or you can unfollow them, or have them unfollow you. On Instagram, you can remove followers. So there are so many different things that you can do to ensure your safety online. If you want to learn how I block, remove, and mute someone, what's the difference between all of that, then you're going to want to check out this video over here next.